But obviously, Andy Dalton, you came into the league. He's been your quarterback every year. What was it like kind of hearing the news that, the team's moving on from him?
Yeah, I think after the draft, it kind of set kind of a precedence as to what was going to happen. And, it's tough, with this side of the business because it is a business. And hearing one of your guys is gone is always kind of tough to hear for sure. And I got to talk to him for a second, and I think he kind of knew that this was the route that was going to be taking place. But nevertheless, it's always hard. I lost my guy Ife going to Jacksonville and Andy, so I'm kind of the old head in the locker room, or one of the old heads in the locker room, which is kind of weird to say. But it's tough. I'm gonna miss him, man. He was very instrumental in me becoming the tight end that I am today, and with his help. And he's going to be a lifelong friend for sure. But that is the business side of it for sure.
You mentioned you had a chance to talk to him today after it was official, or throughout this process?
Both, actually. We kind of talked, and I wanted to know where he was and where his family was throughout, COVID-19 and everything that was going on with that. And obviously if he had heard from anybody. So he was talking about how he was in Texas, spending time with the family, which was awesome. And today I got to just say, how much he means to me, as not just as a player, but just as a person, and kind of the guidance that he's given me through life, not just football, was huge. So I just kind of wanted to express myself to him with that.
What was it like being in the huddle? And, we talked to Alex, and he said, you knew with Andy that he was prepared, and that in the huddle with him, you knew at the very least that your quarterback was ready to go and sort of had the mentality that you guys are going to go out and win the game. Would you agree with that? What was it like being with him on the field?
Yeah, no, there was a sense of you felt at ease almost, just because he, like Alex said, he did know what was going on. He was very prepared for every situation that came up during a game. And so, definitely that just sense of comfort. For me, when I saw him in the huddle, it was just like good play, bad play, whatever it was. He was very even keel and just, all right, this is what we need to do. This is what we're going to do. Down in distance, certain situations, he'd say it to us in the huddle. And I think it was more of a comfort thing for me, just seeing, like, looking across the huddle, because I'm directly across from, looking across and seeing, him just with that confidence.
Yeah, I'm sure you realize this. He's the all-time franchise leader in touchdown passes, and you have the distinction of catching his final touchdown pass as a Bengal, as, unless he comes back for some reason, you're the last one that caught a touchdown pass from him.
Wow.
What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. Yeah, I have that ball too. So that's something he wants. Man, I never talked to him about that. That's crazy. I feel honored, honestly. I saw one of the Bengals had posted something about him and going through the years of Andy, and I'm like, wow, yeah, he's played with some guys. And so, yeah, that's somewhat humbling to hear, because I didn't actually think about that until right now.
As hard as it is to turn the page, this is obviously, a franchise that has some momentum going forward. I think what the Bengals have done in free agency and in the draft, a team certainly on the rise, and I'm sure you've been watching every step of the way. What's it been like to see sort of what this team has done in free agency and in the draft?
It's been crazy. Honestly, it's been crazy. It's something that, when I've been here going on 6 years now, and I haven't seen, as many moving parts as I have. And even talking to some of the older guys and some of the older reporters, they're like, yeah, I mean, they're making big moves, which has been something that, again, they haven't really seen. So it's exciting, to be completely honest, just because I know that the culture that the coaches have implemented in the last year's team tried to set, just culture-wise, was something that I really wanted to get behind. And I wanted to win games for the coaches more than anything, because of what they were trying to instill in us, for what they're trying to do just with the organization and the franchise. So looking around at who they're getting, and high character, high quality guys, and just good athletes, good players. I talked to Gio after one of the free agency days, and I was like, dang, bro, this is nice, man. This is nice to see. So, and then after the draft, especially, I got to I got a chance just to, I wanted to call up every draft pick just to say, congratulations, welcome. We're here if you need anything. It's exciting, man. Honestly, it's very exciting for me to be a part of what's going on and hopefully, what we're able to do.
What, was it just you that did you and a bunch of veterans do that, or was that just something you took upon yourself to call all the draft picks? Or
yeah, I personally wanted to. After Joe got drafted, I asked Coach for his number just to talk to him for a second, and then obviously second day going in, I was like, man, I want to talk to all these guys. I want to talk to T, Logan, Akeem, everyone. I wanted to just. It's tough. It's going to be tough to build a relationship during this time over a Zoom meeting or over FaceTime. So I wanted them to kind of know that we're here. We have their back if they need anything. If they have any questions, they can ask, obviously, because I don't know when the next time we're going to be face-to-face working out together. So I just kind of wanted them to know and them to feel welcome coming into the organization, onto the team.
Was that the extent of the conversation with Joe Burrow that you had, or how did that particular conversation go?
Yeah, I mean, I called him like 30 minutes after he got drafted, so I kind of tried to keep it short and sweet for him. I was like, hey, man, just congratulations. Looking forward to getting with you and stuff. And he kind of just asked where I was. And, when he comes down to Cincinnati, we'll try to find a field and, throw routes if we can, if it's allowed at that time. But, I mean, other than that, yeah, I just told them to enjoy it with their families. I try to keep it short, not take away from their day, just letting them know that we were here for them.
If the NFL came to you and said, CJ, when's the latest that we could get started so that the season would start on time? As the guy who's going to be on the field, involved in playing and putting his body at risk, what would your answer be to that?
That's a good question. I've not heard that one. The latest. I mean, I think if we go in and we can have our camp, I think they can. I know my strength staff and our trainers, they'll make sure that we're, ready to go for the season. So if we start during camp, I'm sure there'll be steps that will be taken to the point where we're not, having soft tissue injuries and things of that nature. And I think we'll be good to go then. I'm honestly, I don't see, where the problem would be in that.
So what would that be like?
I'm not trying to, as a player personally, outside of like the health issues. I think that, I think camp starts end of July. Right. So, I think that these Zoom meetings are, decently productive. Not decently, they are productive. I mean, for what they are. So I think, at that time and given that allotted time before preseason and the regular season, I think that July should be manageable.